When we were with Baba in Meherabad in 1924, Baba used to talk and sing because he was not in silence. And Baba looked very beautiful. I've seen him look very beautiful in white sadra and his hair open, lovely brown hair that had a golden tint in his hair. Abundance of Baba's beautiful hair, very lovely Baba's hair. And when we used to come to Baba having darshan, Baba would tell us to what we did all day, and so he told us we must write the name of Yezdan, means God's name in Persian. So we're very happy that Baba gave us an order, and so we used to write Yezdan, Yezdan for a whole hour, Baba had said. So we felt very important that we were obeying Baba, had this nice order to write God's name. So we had a pencil and pad, and we sat in each corner not to disturb. And that time only myself, Khorshid, and Dolly, and myself. Now then, next time when Baba came to Meherabad, Baba was not staying in Meherabad permanently. Next time when Baba came, he told us to write, to meditate half an hour, take a photo, any photo, Zoroaster or Baba's photo, and we must concentrate on the photo, and that is, it's like meditating, we call it, keep your mind on the photo. And Baba says if your mind is distracted or is not on the photo, concentrating, not to worry, bring it back again and again to concentrate. And that is how Baba gave us, taught us how to keep our mind where we want it to be, that you see. And so on. Then when Baba said, once Baba told us to stitch shirts for the villagers. They were very poor people, most of them. The children were going half naked, and Baba used to feel very sorry for them because Baba is infinite love and compassion. And so he told us to stitch shirts for the village people, and so again we were very happy Baba gave us this order. It was very sweet of Baba to give us this order, because then we felt we were serving Baba in some way. And though we were not staying with Baba, we were in Ahmednagar. My mother, myself, we had come from Pune, left our home to be with Baba, and we were waiting in Ahmednagar as Baba had told us to. When he will call us to Meherabad, then we can join him. Because Baba had promised my mother that he will call her, because my mother wanted to be with Baba, to serve him, and because to serve the perfect master. That time we did not know Baba was the avatar, so we always knew him as Satguru, means the perfect master. So my mother wanted to serve and stay with himself, but Baba said, how can you, I'm not staying in one place, but when I do, come and stay permanently in Meherabad, I will call you. So I did keep his promise. He did call, and my mother and myself and Baba had called his old aunt in the middle age from Pune with us to stay with us, and we stayed with Baba for a month. Separate rooms, and mandali and Baba were in separate quarters that were far from our room, and we cooked for Baba. For the mandali, who were quite some few, I don't know, but 8 or 10 altogether, I don't know the exact number, and who all were with Baba. Some I know that it was Gustadji, Naja's old father, Padri, he was nervous, and of course maybe Adi and Rustam and Adi came from Nagar, and there were 2 others, so altogether maybe 8, 10, and with us women. So, counting us women, I don't know how many, maybe 15 or 12. And we had to cook, and so I was very happy to serve, to do some kind of service to Baba, and that, to bring in firewood and to clean up the cooking utensils and spoons and ladles, and to clean the garlic, and do anything that I could do to help in the kitchen. And so then one day we were doing this cooking work and all that. I saw Baba come from far from the post office, cross the main road to come to our room where we were cooking and where we were staying in this small room. So Baba came in. Baba looked very lovely. He had this comely coat that is now patched coat and is in the museum, but that time it was not patched. It was in good condition. So Baba was wearing that coat, and Baba on sadra and sandals, and his hair open. Baba looked very beautiful when he came across the road towards us, and I was stood in the doorway. He looked very beautiful. And so Baba then asked his aunt and my mother about what they're cooking, and is it spice dal, and Baba said he likes the cooking. It is cooked well, but to send the food earlier at 11:15, and the quantity a little bit more because some more were coming. And so then he turned around to ask me what I was doing. I said I was helping, but what they told me to do, I helped in cooking, Baba, and I washed the utensil and sweep. Baba says, yes, Baba says, it's fine, you're doing the service, and I'm happy about it. And so saying, Baba left our room, and then, yes, Baba had also, then that's the next time he came and told us we were going to Quetta. He will be travelling alone, and we must follow later on, the women, with Gustadji and Meru's father, Rustam. But we have to travel separate, because Baba had the mandali with him, so we women had to travel separate. And but when we were in Meherabad that time, Baba used to love to sing always. Baba had the most beautiful voice, singing voice, and he talked very beautifully. He had a good way of talking, style of talking. Really, Baba used to, in the evening, sing beautiful songs. Yes, and every evening we went over to hear Baba sing. A few of the mandali, the men sat on one side of Baba, and we women, 2, 3 of us, 3 I think, maybe 4. Adi's mother Gulman was there, and Baba was singing. Adi was playing the sitar, and Baba was singing very beautifully. We were seated on Baba's side, on one side, the men on one side, and Baba was playing the drum, and Baba looked very, very sweet. Baba looked singing with all his heart and his singing. So he was had such love for singing, and he sang high notes so beautifully, and we all just listened and chants to hear him sing so beautifully. And then Baba stopped all of a sudden in the middle of the song, and he pointed to me and asked me what I was thinking. I said, "Oh, Baba." It was good. I was not thinking of anything but Baba, because I was watching his fingers play the drum, and Baba's hands looked so beautiful. So I was looking at his hands, and when Baba asked me, I told him, "Baba, you have lovely hands. I like them, Baba." So Baba said, "Oh," Baba held up his hand like this, "And you like my hand?" So I said, "Yes, Baba." Baba nodded his head and continued to play the drum and sing beautifully. And that was the time. And I got I was born now that when sitting with Baba, Baba would ask questions, so all every time when we were with Baba, we would be wary and keep our thoughts on Baba. And not somebody's come in the room, what kind of clothes that one is wearing, nothing. Just look at Baba and think of him. So that way, also we got, how do you say, Baba gave us that way, what do you call it, taught us or trained, or you may call drew attention to this, that being with Baba, you must always think of him. Now, in those days, only when Baba called us, we were the very first to come and stay in Meherabad, because Baba had promised my mother he would call us, so we did come to stay with him, because Baba now is staying in Meherabad permanently. The shirts Baba had sent for, and they were distributed in Meherabad at the post office veranda. And Baba had asked my mother also to buy prasad for the village people. And so 3 sacks of this baked peanuts, puff rice and chickpeas, baked and fresh, sacks full, very big sack full. And so Baba gave, all the villagers were called, and Baba was saying bhajan, and we were at that time staying in Ahmednagar, and when the things, the prasad and shirts that came in an oxen cart, and it was put on the veranda, and we all came, and we saw Baba was singing bhajan, playing the drum. Baba looked very lovely. Sadra had fallen off one of his shoulders, fair and lovely. Baba was very slim and beautiful. Baba looked with his hair lovely and very beautiful. We used to love to watch Baba sing, and he was singing bhajan that day, and all the villagers were called to be there because Baba is going to give them prasad. So all the villagers, and so Baba Baba told us to wait, and he wants to finish this bhajan. And so after 2-3 minutes, Baba finished singing bhajan, because singing was very important to Baba. So after finishing, then Baba told us which are the shirts for the children. So we opened them out, and Padri had to open out the prasad, big sacks, gunny sacks, what would you call it? Yes, sacks, huge. And they were stitched. He opened them, we opened the shirt, and Baba then would call each child, come from mother's lap, and the child will come and sweet. And little tiny tots would come to Baba, 2 years old, 3 years, and Baba would give them small shirt, we call it parents, a little garment for children, small garment, and Baba would put little prasad on the folded shirt and give it to the child. The child would be so happy, and he would take it to his mother, and the mother would take the child on her lap, and mother would be happy, and the child would be eating. Yes. And very happy. And so all the children were called, and then the bigger children and so on. And then the men were also given the big the shirts that were stitched for them in big size. And Baba would give them prasad so much that it would fall on the ground so much. You know what I mean? When he gave abundantly like this. And they all were happy, and then they said Baba's Jai, and Baba told them they can leave now. So they were going home, all the villagers with the children, women and children and men. And when they're going, they were so happy. They were shouting Baba's Jai, and the children laughing and screaming and happy, children as they showed their happiness. And so Baba turned to my mother and said, see how happy they are. I feel happy to see them happy, others happy. But aren't you happy? My mother said, yes, I also feel happy to see that they're happy, Baba. And of course the things are touched by you. Baba nodded. And then after a few days we came to stay with Baba in the ashram. Means in Meherabad. So we were 4 women very first to come to stay in Meherabad with Baba. Very first. That was 1924. And so we cooked and we swept and washed and everything. All day long we were kept busy, occupied, And one day Baba told me that you're my orderly. I said, Baba, I don't know the meaning of orderly. So Baba said, you don't know meaning? Why? It means all the things of my, what I use and what, I don't, what does orderly mean? Anyway.
Personal attendance.
Personal attendance like this. So I said, yes, Baba. And I'm a rather shy girl, you know. Anyway, the next day, when after Baba had his bath and all that, they were clothes to be washed. Baba said, from today I have to wash his clothes also. So I washed his clothes, and of course we cooked for Baba, and we were so happy. And you know, there's plenty of time. And when we made tea, was in the morning there was no breakfast. Just tea, that is weak tea with no milk in it. And just tea, no bread, no anything. So our glasses were all on the floor and on the floor, yes, and Baba's mug also. The same mug in which Baba had his bath, the same mug we cleaned, and in that Baba would have his tea. And same here, we had glasses that we used for maybe washing our face or brushing our teeth. We cleaned them, and every morning we had to have tea in these aluminum glasses. And there was no crockery, you know, china, because that breaks. So unbreakable things we had to use. So we made tea on the primus because Baba did not like wood fire, smoke of wood fire. So that was done inside a bedroom in one corner, the tea things. And the tea we made. We put Baba's mug also on the floor because there was no furniture. And so we poured Baba's tea first, and then tea for the mandali, and then for ourselves. And then we took the mug to Baba, we put in front of Baba. But it was so, the tea was so hot that there's steam, and the steam would come out, and so Baba could not touch the mug. And so he would be waiting, because those days we had time to, how would you say, there was no hurry about things. And so Baba would wait till get cool, but in the meantime he would be talking to the mandali. It means Gustadji, Naja's father, and Padri were there, and at that time only the three of them. And so I would be talking, waiting. Then my mother felt that Baba wanted to have his tea, so she got a very good idea. She said, we bring a pail of water, half a pail of water, and hold Baba's mug in the cool water, and so make the tea cool in the right temperature and give it to Baba. And so that is what we did. Most of the time I would do it, and I put it in front, after cooling it a bit, then put it in front of Baba. Then Baba lift the mug and very slowly touch the mug to his lip to see if it was really hot. Then he found it was right temperature. Then Baba, every day, that is how Baba drank his tea, you know. And we also had our glasses in the pail. So we, for quite some time, both times, afternoon, evening, we had dal and rice. Once a plain dal with a little bit of chutney, and a spicy dal. And so that for quite some time we just had dal and rice twice a day, and then the weak tea in the morning with no milk. But we were quite happy as long as we were with Baba. Now Baba, when we came to stay with Baba, Baba told us to get settled and unpacked and all that. The nice room that Baba was using, it was called the post office. Baba's things were brought out the day before we came, and Baba settled on stayed on the veranda outside, which is all the cold breeze blowing in the morning. But yes, now we had to open our beddings and all that. So when we are unpacking, so Baba then walked in, he came, and he saw my mother opening her things, then he came towards us and said, have you brought proper bedding? I don't want any of you to feel cold or get ill. But you must have good. We said, we have good bedding, Baba. Baba said, let me see. And so when we opened our beddings, there was no pillow in it. And Baba says, where's the pillow? And so we said, Baba, we thought we will do without a pillow, because the time when we were staying in Ahmednagar, before coming to Baba, we had thought that we train ourselves into having less accessories, what would you call, less of comfort, So a pillow is too much comfort to have a soft pillow under your head, so we can live with Baba like fakirs. So we had this idea, and when we came to Baba, Baba said, there was no pillow. Baba didn't like it. Baba said, no, you must use a pillow. Why haven't you got a pillow? And so we looked at Baba now, what to answer him, what to say. And Baba said, no, you must use a pillow. This very day, by the evening, you must have a pillow. So 2 pillows were sent from Ahmednagar. From that time we used a pillow under our heads. Baba said, you must keep well and take care of your health, then you can work and serve. That's how Baba told us. Then when Baba had one day a mood for playing cricket, he would tell the mandali. That time, 2, 3, some others had come, Babalavas, to see Baba, darshan, to be with Baba. And also Ali and Rustam must have been there, because there were more than 6 or 8 of them, with Padri and Naja's father and Gustadji. So that time Baba got the mood to play cricket, which he hadn't played for a long time. So he told them to what is called wicket to fixed in the ground, to arrange for the cricket, and he'll come. So Baba came inside our room very fast. He always walked so fast and beautifully. Baba came inside and said, I'm going to play cricket. Tie my hair up, come here. He called me. And so Baba held his hair like this. And I went running to my ribbon box, which I kept for Baba, pretty coloured ribbons. I got the best coloured ribbon, and it was a little bit broad also, and it was very lovely. And I reached up and tied Baba's hair and made a pretty bow at the back. And Baba's brown hair, and his shirt was open, fall back like that. His neck and shirt, what do you call it? His neck and shoulders were seen, they were fair, and this brown hair with a pretty bow. So when Baba turned to go out, he looked like a beautiful young woman from the back. And so then we came towards the door and watched Baba play cricket. And Baba's slim legs, and Baba used to wear shorts, cotton shorts, we will call it. And as going towards the wicket, going towards the cricket ground where it's prepared, he was in such a hurry that whilst walking, he would tuck it in the string of his shorts, and Baba ready. And he played the cricket game so seriously, so beautifully. Baba played. I can still see him playing so beautiful. Baba loved. And he was a very serious game. It was not a sham game. Baba would count the runs, and he loved playing cricket and enjoyed playing cricket. And that was the time, in 1924, when we first came to Baba. And then after many days after that, then Baba was going to Bombay with us. We were traveling to Bombay. So we were all packing. Baba told Naja's father that nothing should be left out, so everything has to be packed. So Naja's father had to obey. So when he went, he got many of the things that were to be brought inside, cooking vessels and stove, whatever there was outside. We also helped, because it has to be done very quickly. And but everything was brought inside the room, this post office room, and here we were tying up, utensils all in a sack and tying up. My mother was helping Naja, and I was doing something also, And we had kept our warm things out to wear on the way if it's cold, coat, warm coat or sweater. But Rustam Masa means aunt, uncle. So he would, after doing all the things that should brought in, many things, pieces of bamboo, I don't know what, we didn't possess anything very, very
Simple.
Simple things and so the Baba said to bring in everything, nothing should be left out. So even the tins that were rusty and thrown away or broken, what do you call them, bent, that also he started bringing in. And so my mother was laughing to look at him. Then why should he bring things that are thrown away? And at that time Baba came in, and Baba saw my mother laughing. Mother said, "Why you amused? What's amusing you?" So Mama said, "But Baba, Masaji is bringing in the things that are also thrown away, those tin pots, and the broken brooms that are thrown away, pieces of wood and bamboo." And Baba said, "Yes, he's obeying my order. I've told him nothing should be left out. So everything has to be in the room, so he's obeying my order." My mother said, "Yes, Baba." But it looked a bit strange to see him bringing in these broken things. So then that was before going. And then Baba turned and Baba said to us, to us girls, "Have you kept warm things out? Where are they? On the way we might, when the train is moving, find it chilly." So we said, "Yes, Baba, we have kept the warm things. Here's our coats and all that." And then Baba saw I had a pink coat, but that was knitted. My mother had knitted for me at home, and it was very pretty color, not baby pink. It was a lovely salmon pink, and so Baba saw it, and Baba took it in his hand and says, "Nice coat. This seems to be nice and warm." And I said, "Yes, Baba, it's quite warm." So Baba put that coat on. He wore the coat, Baba buttoned it up nicely, and he moved around in that. Baba looked so lovely, white sadra, pink coat. So that was now I think of it, that was the first pink coat that Baba wore, and it was lovely that my mother had knitted it. So, and then after 3 or 5 minutes, Baba took it off and then told us to get ready, and then he asked Gustadji for his turban material that he had for his turban that was folded, and it was given to him inside the room. And there was a carpet. There was no furniture anywhere, and just a very big carpet. This cotton carpet, the ordinary carpet. Baba threw the turban material, opened it out on the carpet, just threw it on the carpet, then holding one end, and then he took it and very beautifully Baba would wear the turban. Yes, he wrapped it around his head with very neat folds, and very beautifully he wore the turban. And then at an angle he sort of, how do you say, and then he put the end of the thing like a fan, but it looked very decorative, beautiful. Baba looked. And of course his little braid was hidden inside, because Baba wanted his braid to be hidden, because on the station that nobody should see and be, how do you say, notice. Recognized, yes. And so on the station, Baba told us to wait and be seated on a bench that was near that room where they sold the tickets and all that. So we were only 3, I think, that time. Naja, myself and my mother, I remember. I don't know about Khorshid, who was Baba's sister-in-law. Maybe she was. I don't know. Anyway, we were waiting there. Baba would walk up and down the station. When he went up to the end of the station where there was nobody, in those days people were very few, so there was nobody at the end. Baba was singing loudly and beautifully, and when he came towards where people are, and we were also seated, Baba sang very softly and beautifully. His voice was so lovely. And so when he went to the other end of the station there, he again would sing a bit louder and beautifully. And then when he came again soft and so on, Baba couldn't do without singing. That means how he loved singing. So in the meantime, the train came, and Baba, the mandali had found a nice compartment, a small one. They were told to find a small compartment with one person, and maybe Gustadji to be with Baba in the train. So the train had stopped there, and Baba got in the train, and our compartment was to be found for the ladies' compartment. So we were looking for it, and we were waiting on the thing. It all happened on. I think the train must have stopped for only 10 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, we were seated there waiting for that someone should tell us now to board the train. They found the compartment. So when we were seated there, Gustadji came out of Baba's compartment and called out. Means he came a little further towards us and said that Baba wants Mehera to come and go to any compartment, to come to his compartment. I mean, Baba's calling him. This is what he said. And so I went in Baba's compartment. Baba was looking so sweet. He was very sweet. Baba looked. It was leaning against this wall of the compartment. What do you call it? This wooden partition of the compartment. And this, on the seat, his feet were straight like this, relaxed in the pillow at the back of her head. And then when I came in, Baba said, "Sit down." And so near his feet, I sat down. and Baba said, "Massage my feet." So I started massaging Baba's feet, And it was not even maybe half a minute that I massaged. And when Baba said, if you massage my feet every day without missing one day, I will make you like Babajan. Oh! I got so startled. I looked at Baba. I never had an idea of ever becoming like Babajan. It was very funny. Anyway, then so I was surprised. Now what can I say? I looked at Baba. I said, "Yes, Baba, that I would like to massage his feet every day. That is very important, was very important." So I said, "Yes, Baba." And so after a second or two, I said, "Now you can go." So Baba loved to give a nice, happy surprise, So, Baba was always like that. Sometimes he would give a little startled or a little surprise, Baba very sweet like that. Anyway, then we went to Bombay.
That's all.
Yes.
It was very good.
Beautiful.
Really good. All the
You
stories.
got till the very end?
Yeah, right after that.
After I finished massaging Baba's feet.